Oh la pouna. Ah, j'ai oublié de changer le nom. Oula, oula, calme-toi. Voilà, là on met là. What remember of Edith Finch? Et pas Flinch. Ou Flinch. Ouais. Ça m'explose les oreilles. Je baisse, hein. Oh my. Ce qui paraît, enfin, moi j'ai vu, c'est, il y avait marqué, c'est horrifique. Hein. On va prendre. Ah, je bouge. Oh, incroyable. J'ai un bras cassé. C'est sympa. Hein. Mais ouvre! Non mais s'il te plaît. J'arrive même pas à ouvrir un journal. Wow, 2 secondes. Y'a pas de... Après, y'a pas vraiment besoin de soucis. Ok.
I'm just gonna start at the beginning with the house.
J'ai simplement vécu par le début. Je vais commencer simplement par le début. La maison.
Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
Grosse clôture. Hein.
My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
T'es disparu, mais là c'est une clôture pour chez toi. Faut pas prévenir les gens? Pourquoi c'est posté là? Vu que les gens ils peuvent pas.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Oh, c'est pas cool. Hein. Le postier, il avait les clés.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Ah, urgent, ouvrir. Est-ce que... c'est en recommandé? Parce que si c'est pas en recommandé... l'obligation n'est pas là. Yeah. Là, de surveillance. On dirait...
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Ça veut dire que... Ok, d'accord.
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Wait. Edith Finch. C'est quoi là-bas? Il y avait deux passages. J'ai l'impression de rentrer dans un domaine militaro-armé aux États-Unis.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Et un cerf. Ouais.
The truth is,
Vie.
even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Elle est stylée quand même, hein, la maison. Ah ouais, c'est encore une découverte, jamais fait, juste entendu le nom, que c'était trop bien. Donc ah, c'est encore le petit, le frère. Ça me fait moins mal aux oreilles, je vais augmenter un petit peu. Voilà.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
C'est bien étanche avec un arbre qui est à l'intérieur. Oh, il y a un dragon! Un serpent de mer. Ça a abandonné depuis pas mal de temps, mais bon, ça va. Quelqu'un qui s'en occupe, je sais pas.
The house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Il y a un trou dans le toit déjà, c'est peut-être normal. Ça, on peut dire que c'est le vent qui a... Voilà.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Oh. Ouais, la lumière. Qui est chez moi? Pourquoi il y a des squatteurs? Alors que je les débusque à coups de carabine. Carillon. Tout a l'air de bien se faire. Entrons. Poup, poup.
I heard something moving around in the garage.
Je suis venu, mais je pars, il y a quelque chose. Tu rentres vraiment comme ça? Mais...
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Et t'as même pas testé si... Ça se trouve, la porte elle est ouverte. Ça pour un chat. Une souris. Un mulot. J'ai besoin d'un new vélo. Prends cette arme. Jamais. Mais il n'y a aucune poussière.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Ah, c'est nous. Après, il y a Eddie Lewis et Darwin. Oh, c'est trop stylé, on dirait qu'il a des yeux. Mais vraiment, qui a fait le ménage?
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot. Or how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Ouais, c'est vrai que trop de... Faut varier, hein. Faut varier les petits plats. Ah ouais, non mais il y en a beaucoup trop.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Et pourquoi? Que
It was
s'est-il
like a
passé?
bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Et genre ça pas moisi. C'est juste un peu sale, mais pas de cafard ni rien. N'est pas réaliste.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Je suis sûr que vous êtes une secte. Regardez, toujours ce pot de chambre un peu partout.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Normal, c'est pas normal, hein. Faut aller voir le dentiste. Après il y a une belle vue, hein, j'avoue. Plutôt stylé, hein. Et un barbecue. Et petit.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Maison qui a fait un naufrage. Un bateau. Un bateau de briques. Et des photos. Spoopy.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit. Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Il faut avoir du talent quand même, hein. Chillé. Pourquoi il y a un gorille? Après il est un peu flippant, hein. Ok. C'est pour un film, j'ai l'impression. Oui. Il y a un masque. Oh. À la fois je trouve ça stylé, mais à la fois je trouve ça... Yark.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Il devait y avoir ouais, une tempête,
My
une
mom
tornade.
wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Oula.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Oh, c'est en mode encyclopédie, machin. Il y a comme de la lumière là-bas. Étrange.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Ouais, c'est ce que je dis, hein. Un peu parano. Molly.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Ah ouais, à 10 ans. Des rituels sataniques ou... Oh, il est stylé, hein.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Des traces comme ça, je sais pas ce qui...
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Oh, je pense pas que ça rentre. Oui, ça. Comment? Ok.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Ouais, bah 2 secondes. C'est trop stylé. Ah, parce que j'ai pas fini de visiter à l'étage là.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Barbara. Ok, c'était une enfant star.
Edie's father Odin built the original house.
Oh, je croyais qu'elle avait fait naufrage. 14 ans? Non, 16 ans?
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Oh, le Big Fu. Enfin, star, hein, faut... Voilà quoi. What? Un grenier.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Eddie. Nous. Ah non, c'est pas nous. Nous, c'est Eddie.
The last time I was in Edith Senior's room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Ah oui, nous on est je sais pas combien de team du nom. D'accord. Oh, ça a tenu longtemps quand même. Ah oui. On a marqué Eddie et c'est Edith. Faut savoir. Oh. Ah. C'est vrai qu'à l'époque...
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
C'est une salle de bain. Ah, mais vous avez vu où vous mettez vos gosses aussi?
My grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Alors, trop... Ah, il avait 11 ans. Ok. Bon, voyons voir qu'est-ce qui est caché derrière tout ceci. Une tasse. Ah, je comprends pourquoi elle avait peur.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Stylé. Des haribots.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here, before my mom sealed the doors.
Ça c'est Molly, avec 10 ans. Oh, elle étudie les papillons. Mais au secours, un crâne de... chelou, hein.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Ouais, ne me dis pas qu'elle a enfermé le hamster aussi. Elle a scellé le hamster. Oh non.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom
Jarbille.
with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
C'est trop choupi. Ouais. Oui. Oh, les petits requins. Lisons le journal.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Et pourquoi t'as envoyé? T'as fait une bêtise? Oh non, on va pas manger une nourriture de Jarby. C'est quoi là?
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Comment ça, elle va été mangée? Tu peux sortir?
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
J'avais un poisson. Il y avait le petit. Non, on va pas manger le poisson. Elle y a pensé, hein, mais non. Casse ça. Pas des chiottes. L'arc. Du. Et ça c'est du fou. C'est dangereux du fou. Et je mangeais la bouffe de la Jarbille. Hein. Normalement, si la Jarbille n'est pas morte avec cette bouffe, je ne devrais pas mourir.
Food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Voilà, on a mangé. Pas est fini. En dodo, hein. Bon, vas-y.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Christopher. Un petit sushi, hein. Petit sushi de poisson rouge.
I ate a lot of things that night.
C'est du plast. Oh,
I kept eating and eating.
Ah.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
Ah, mais il y a une chaîne.
And suddenly,
Ah.
I was a cat.
Oh, ça t'était devenu un chat. Oui. Je suis vraiment un chat. Ça saute la branche là.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Wouhou. Je vais te choper. Saleté d'oiseau. Oh non. Oh, je l'ai eu. Je me suis fait zu. Pas sûr que ça passe. Hein.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Tant que t'as pas vu autre chose, ça va. Je peux pas sauter sur... Il est en haut. Comment? Je vais être plus prudent moi et sauter sur le premier poteau. Beurre. Il se joue de moi.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Colère.
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore.
Ouais, mais t'es un chat, ça va.
Was eating that mama bird.
Ah, pourquoi il y a une statue?
I gobbled her up.
Zboum!
Suddenly, I was an owl. First,
Chouette.
all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Oui. On grignote dans l'air. Vision.
Rabbits.
Ouh. Je vois rien. Il est où? Il est où le lapin? Là-bas. Pas dû le voir, oui.
His face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Un crocodile. Un truc plus gros.
A mama rabbit.
Un autre. Oh là là. Un autre lapin.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Un requin dans l'arbre. Ouais, oui, oui. Faut que je retourne à l'eau, vite. Les requins, c'est gentil.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Non. Reviens. Bleh.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Ah, elle est blessée.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Je suis un serpent. Je suis une...
Now I was a monster.
Ah non, mais je suis un...
I smelled people everywhere.
Je suis devenu un octopus. Oh non. Je fasse... faut que je sois un peu plus discret. C'est combien de bagnoles? C'est peut-être pas chez eux. Le Kraken. Un humain.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Très goûtu. Manque un peu de ketchup. Un mot de moutarde, il est vrai.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Oh, ma tentacule grossit de plus en plus. Passe par l'extérieur.
Last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, we smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Comment ça?
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Mais c'est les égouts là. Tu veux vraiment y aller? Oh non, je vais sortir des chiottes.
I got closer and closer.
Je suis retourné dans la chambre. Oh. C'est grimpé.
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Elle a des idées cheloues, la gamine. Hein. Au secours. Oh, c'était en 40 quoi.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Un peu bizarre. Donc tout vient d'Odin. Odin, Eddie, Walter, après il y a la branche Sam, Calvin, Barbara, Molly, Gregory, Gus, Dawn. Et après le reste. Il y a Kay, il y a Sanjay. Eh bien. C'est une grande fan, hein, je pense. Il y a un crapaud. Mais c'est dangereux.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Ah, il y a un truc... il y a un double truc là-bas. Ah, intéressant. Faire attention. La parabole. Canal Sat.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Ouh.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Elle est douée, hein.
A new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Pour les mains. Évidemment. petite bouteille d'oxygène, ça avait besoin.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Oh mais c'est plus épique.
Her room was like a museum.
Ouais mais là-bas y a quoi?
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Là c'est horrible. Hein. Voir ça dans une salle de bain. Au secours. Ouais, un petit Playmobil. Et les canards. Boîte de pilules.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Ok, bah on va pas y aller de suite. Hein. Non! Retourne! Merci. Oh non, parce que le bouquin là. Ah, c'est vraiment scellé. Hein. Oula.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
M'étonne.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Ah ouais, après si elle était morte.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Et Woody.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
On est riche.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Il embarque la maison. Et du retour haptique.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Tu m'étonnes, excentrique comme ça. Il n'y a pas d'yeux. Le nain n'a pas d'yeux. Ne le regardons pas. Fuyons. Il veut un bébé moche.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Chambre Noël. Enceinte? Je vois une bague, j'ai un petit ventre rond. Potentiellement. Pour ça. Pas de pratique. Une galère sans nom. Ouais, des clopes. Cancer des poumons à l'âge de 10 ans.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
T'imagines, t'as une chambre comme ça, c'est trop.
Grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Ouais. Ah, c'est les deux.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Metallica.
Dinner's ready. Coming.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
J'aime bien une idée de qu'est-ce que la malédiction des Finch, mais... Aller de l'autre côté?
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Ok, donc vu qu'il est pas mort là, il y avait que lui. Oh, stylé. Yeah.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Genre, c'était pas au courant. Donc là, je revais. Ok, ici. Chambre de Barbara.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Nani. D'ailleurs, non. Ah oui, ce chat!
About how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Mon Dieu. Quand ça bouge, c'est ultra flippant. Bon, après. Là, lui, là. Félix. Je crois que c'est son vrai blaze. Mais... Machin, il doit être tout moisi. Popcorn. Des canettes de bière. Ah, je veux bien que ça scelle les chambres, mais jetez au moins ça, s'il vous plaît. Elle a travaillé dans un diner.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed.
Juste avec un cri.
Her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe.
Oh.
I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box.
Il a pas pris la clé?
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick.
Oh, je l'ai beaucoup tourné hein, tout à l'heure. Et c'est pas coopéralité ça? C'est pas la vraie hein.
Scratch and imagine the worst.
Ouais. Yeah. Oh non, du sang. Mais que se passe-t-il? Une main.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Oucha. Lumière. Il a l'air ultra grand.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Réflexe, hein.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then
M'étonne.
act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
Ouais.
Threw him out.
Dégage-le de ta vie.
Kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay,
What?
I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Ouais, une vraie grande sœur, quoi.
Walter, are you there?
Walter.
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Yeah.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Non mais c'est vraiment vrai ce machin.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing.
Ouais, je te détruis.
And he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Ish.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Ouais, bon bah... Autre chose, hein. Doucement. Ah non, ça va me tuer, ça. Attention, on n'est pas roulé sur le roller. Il n'est plus là. Le moyen, c'est ça. Non. Où est-ce qu'il est?
Had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Il n'y avait qu'un seul moyen de...
someone at the door
Ouais, bah 2 secondes, hein.
dying to speak to young Barbara.
Loose fils de pute.
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Comme ça, ils sont deux.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true.
Ah mais le prank tourne mal.
Monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. That's what I call a real eerie tale.
Le gars. Et what?
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Ouais, mais chelou quoi. Même si c'était ultra bien fait, mais chelou quoi. What the hell?